Hey guys, what's up? Today I have a new makeup tutorial for you. It's also Throwback Thursday, and I'm super excited because today I used the Lorac Unzipped Palette, the original. I've gotten so many requests for this since I started Throwback Thursday. Sorry this is a voiceover. It was storming like crazy today, so it was just too loud to film and talk through. It would have been very annoying, so I hope you don't mind. So first I'm going to start off by using this Acne Correcting Cover by Neutrogena in the shade Fair and Light. I just got this and I was really curious about it and I actually really liked it. Then I'm going to prep my eyes with the Bella Pierre makeup base as I normally do. And I'm using the Sigma Beauty Precision Flat P80 brush for this, so I'm just blending that all over my lids. Next, I'm so excited to finally be using the Lorac Unzipped palette, you guys. This is my first time ever using it. So I'm first taking the Undercover shade with the Sigma Tapered Blending E40 brush, and I'm just going to dust this all over my lid. It especially helps me blend out in super matte looks like this, so I highly recommend doing that. Then I'm going to take the shade Unconditional with the Soft Focus Shader E52 brush, and I'm packing this all over my lid, you guys. I wasn't even going to pretend. I'm not putting it all over my lid this time, so I just went in and went for it this time. You guys know how I do. So I just packed that on, and then I took a little bit more with a blending brush, and there was no name on this brush. I have no idea what it is. Just a generic blending brush, probably from like Walmart. I don't know. And I'm just going to blend that throughout my crease. Next, I'm going to take the gorgeous shade Unbridled. I love this, but I only took a smidgen of color because it's so highly pigmented and I didn't want to get too carried away. Then I started blending it on my lid and kind of underneath my crease, as you'll see. I didn't want to take it too high because it's just so easy to get carried away with this shadow. So I tried my best to really kind of keep it tight to my lid and underneath that crease and really just blend it into the crease but not bring it above it. Then taking that tapered blending brush again, I just kind of use that to smooth everything back out. Next, going back with Unconditional, I'm going to smudge this underneath my lower lash line. I know this is a very like intense red look, but I just really was in the mood for it with this palette. Like, it's hard to not get carried away with it. And of course, you can skip this part if it gets a little carried away or if it's just too much for you. I totally get it. I know this probably isn't something many of you could wear to like school or an office, so I get it. But then, of course, because I'm SHAE, I had to punch it up even more, right? Of course. So I took that Unbridled eyeshadow again, and I just focused that on the outer crease and on my outer lower lash line as well. And then I took that tapered blending again just to run it all around that area and blend it all out so it's nice and blown out and super blended. Take your time with this. You can never be too blended. And then I'm going to take the Sigma Beauty Monogram liquid liner. This is that brown liquid liner that I was wearing in my ColourPop live swatching video and another video that I did. And I've been getting so many questions about it, so I had to use it today. And I thought it would be kind of interesting on top of the red. I think people usually like just default to black, so I wanted to, no shade, I'm just saying, I just kind of wanted to play around and try something else. So if it's not for you, stick with black, but I actually thought it was kind of interesting near the end. I liked the tones of it. I also did a pretty severe wing, but for this look you could also just smudge some black or dark liner into your lower and upper lash line and you'd be totally fine. Next, for lashes, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I want to do falsies or not, and then I was like lazy because it was rainy, I don't know, so I skipped it. I decided to use my DIORSHOW mascara because it gives me great volume, and I wish I would have curled my lashes. I think that would have made it a lot better. I'm kind of kicking myself for that, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter in the scheme of things, and we can't be a perfectionist, SHAE. So anyway, I'm just going to keep mascaring my lashes here. Next, for foundation, I'm taking the Maybelline SUPERSTAY Better Skin Foundation in the shade 30 Nude. I just kind of scrubbed all my self-tanner off, and I didn't really consider that before using this foundation, so I also wish I would have used a lighter foundation. My hands are kind of lighter than my face, kind of driving me nuts, so I'm sorry about that. And then I'm going to take the SUPERSTAY concealer as well, and this is in the light shade. It's actually my appropriate shade, so yay! I'm just going to run this underneath my eyes to brighten that area up. I was going to use a brush, and then I was like, nah, I'm going to just like totally use my phalanges on this little number because, I don't know, sometimes you get just a really good blend with like the warmth of your finger, and I was just feeling it. I don't know. And then to set it, I'm going to use the AIRSPUN translucent powder. I'm not really baking, you guys. I just took a light amount and I'm pressing it into that under eye area. But I didn't want to cake too much on, as I cake on there, I know. But it's really not as much as I use if I use like a damp sponge and I, you know, dip it and all the whole cakey method. I just used it dry and I kind of just set it on top. And I like it. I don't always need to do the hardcore baking. Next to set the rest of my face, I'm going to take Fit Me foundation. This is in the shade 315, and I love this shade. It's a new one, so I'm really happy they added it. I just use a little bit. I don't really need much powder anymore. And then to dust off any of that translucent powder that's left, I take the OFRA banana powder with my Spotlight Sigma Duster brush. I love it because it hardly picks up any product, so it's really good at just kind of lightly dusting and making it more natural underneath the eye. And then for contour, I'm taking the FIONA STILES contouring palette with this Smith bronzer brush, which I really have been liking these brushes, by the way. They were sent to me in my P.O. box, so I did get a P.O. box just to let you guys know. I've had a lot of people ask me for a long time, so I decided to finally get one for the fam who maybe wants to send a letter. Please do not spend any money on me. That's all that I ask, because I get sent way too much free stuff and I don't want you guys to send me anything that you pay for. So, but if you want to do a little letter, that would be lovely. And then I just blend all that out with my powder brush again, that Spotlight Duster brush again. I'm hardly picking up any powder, but I just want to add a little bit of color to my temples. And then still using that same contouring palette, just more of the gray tone, I took this little Smith crease brush and I used it as a contouring brush just along the sides of my nose. I think banana powder in the AIRSPUN really can make your nose look a lot bigger if you get too carried away or it gets too close to your nose, and sometimes I'm lazy and it does, so I have to contour that out. Next for blush, I'm taking one of my favorites. This is ILLAMASQUA blush in the shade HUSSY, and I'm going to use my Wet n Wild contouring brush, which I really like. It's a nice brush. I wouldn't say it's my fave of all time, but it's definitely amazing for its price. Oh my gosh, this is a new holy grail for me, you guys. I'm obsessed with it. This is the Urban Decay Afterglow highlighter in the shade Sin, and I'm using a very, very old Ulta Professional fan brush. This is from like way back in the day, Ulta. I love it. And then I just sprayed my face with the Smashbox primer water to kind of make it pop a little bit more. For lips, I'm gonna do a funny little concoction. I used ColourPop Cosmetics Limbo Ultra Matte Lip, and I just wanted a little bit of a brown tone because of the brown eyeliner, but it wasn't the exact brown shade that I wanted. It was pulling a little red on me. So I took ColourPop Cosmetics Ultra Matte in the shade Bad Habit and I layered that on top, and I loved what it did. It made it like such a cool rosy brown. I was like obsessed with it, and further throughout the day it ended up turning more of like a purple tone, but I really, really loved it. You can go see on my Instagram if you want to see how it looked in pictures. I posted a picture. Lastly, on my lower lash line, I'm going to take Honey Dude eyeliner by ColourPop Cosmetics just to kind of brighten it up. My eyes were looking really red, I thought, with all of the red tones, and then also the AIRSPUN always really irritates my eyes, so I thought I would just kind of brighten and try and clean that up. And I love this liner. I think it did a fantastic job. Alright fam, well that is it for my tutorial. I hope you guys liked this week's Throwback Thursday, and please let me know what palette I should use next week. I love hearing your guys' suggestions. If you see one that you want me to use, give their comment a thumbs up. That would be really helpful. So thank you guys so much. I love you, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye! Hey fam, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing some more ColourPop Cosmetics live swatches. I'm so freaking excited. It's part of their spring collection.